Patrick Herwig. I'm the general manager of the public sector for JACS Solutions out of Baltimore, Maryland. We're a global provider of IoT solutions, mostly custom-built solutions focused on products like tablets and connectivity solutions, things like hotspots, modems, little USB modems, things like that. Predominantly focused in on IoT. It's an area that we've been around for about 10 years, and we have customers across multiple verticals, including healthcare, public sector today. So we have some state and local, and a small footprint inside of the federal government. And we've been doing it for 10 years, and we have manufacturing facilities in Taiwan, as well as starting to look at a Made in America program as well to actually manufacture. So I'm here really to build and grow our public sector business. I mentioned today we do have a few customers. We do some work in the corrections space inside of state and local. So we build highly customized tablets for inmates in prisons. So we've got a footprint kind of across the U.S. We also have some devices in Australia. And so we're trying to expand a little bit inside of that market for sure. And certainly inside of the federal government, I see a lot of opportunity for our solutions. We customize everything. So everything that we do is really focused on finding a business issue or a problem that a customer has, and then build a solution to solve that problem. So it's kind of it's a little different than what some of the other OEMs in the space do. But for us, we're very nimble. We can quickly customize products and prototype them and bring them to market, or bring them to solve this customer problem. Yeah, so we've seen a lot of things happening in the private LTE CBRS space recently, for sure. It's kind of I'd say it's still a relatively young solution, or from a customer standpoint, it's customers are starting to adopt things like private LTE, but still very much in a proof of concept and pilot type stage. We're seeing things like smart bases across DoD start to take off, and they're trying to use CBRS for a variety of different applications and use cases. We see a big uptick in that, and even beyond DoD applications. I think smart campuses and smart cities. There's a lot of advantages of CBRS versus something like Wi-Fi, right? So the security advantages and the ability to add more users into the network without the same kind of congestion that you have inside of Wi-Fi. So I think there's a lot of interest in it. And for us, we've been delivering CBRS endpoints now for a little over 12 months, and we've shipped about over 100,000 devices that are CBRS capable today. And so it's a big focus for us, and I think we've developed a lot of in-house expertise around this technology, and we see a lot of opportunity coming down the pike for other use cases even outside of just DoD. There's a few challenges there. I think probably the biggest challenge, which is a pretty common one across really the IT space in general, is security, right? So I think the big thing that we're focused on as a hardware provider or a solution provider is ensuring that we're doing what we can on the hardware side to make the devices as secure as possible. We also do a lot around firmware customization, so we can disable certain things inside of a tablet, as an example, to make sure that we have additional layers of security there. And then we, certainly rely on the network infrastructure to also, provide some more layers of security there. And we can work with any MDM provider, right, to kind of complete the package there. So I think that's probably the biggest thing. It's certainly, an ongoing challenge for everybody in this community. And it probably always will be, right? I don't think it's going to come to an end anytime soon. The other area I think that's a bit of a challenge inside of at least CBRS and Spectrum is this concept of interference. I think it's something that we're pretty focused on trying to do our part to help in this space. And so we're also a part of another group called the ONGO Alliance, which is heavily focused on solving this interference challenge that exists. And interestingly, there's a lot of overlap between NSC and the ONGO Alliance. So there's a fair number of partners and educational institutions that are part of both of those organizations, including us. Because we're really focused on building these custom solutions for customers, we tend to try to take the tact of let's go focus on this, whatever the business issue is, and then see if we can go build something to solve that problem. Unlike kind of traditional OEMs in this space, it's very difficult for some of those to actually make changes or tweak their solution to solve a specific problem or meet a requirement. For us, it's a little bit easier. We're pretty nimble. We can kind of adjust on the fly. And so for us, we do a lot of prototyping and, as we meet with customers to try to figure out, okay, can this solve your problem? And it happens, but it's rare that we get it absolutely 100% right the first go, right? It's typically an iterative process around prototyping. So we'll go through, 3, 4, 5 plus, type solutions and ultimately land on something that works for them, works for us, and that we can produce for them. So yeah, I'd say the prototyping piece is something that's important for us as an organization, and I think it provides a lot of value for customers to be able to actually see it, touch it, test it, validate, things like that. Maybe just a couple things. I think first off, we're real excited to be part of the National Spectrum Consortium. We're pretty new to it, so we just joined in June, and we tried to jump right in. We've already responded to the call for white papers for the Open RAN. We participated in the industry government day down in Arlington last week, and that was really eye-opening, I think, for me in particular. Just to see the volume of participation there was excellent, and the knowledge and expertise in the room was pretty impressive. There's a lot of really good, smart people that are part of the NSC and willing to provide a lot of feedback and try to push not so much their agenda, but push the agenda to help the government and help the industry partners. So I think that's pretty impressive. And for us too, it's a way for us to meet some other partners and find ways to provide value for them as they drive solutioning inside of Spectrum. So we're really excited about being part of the group, and we're going to try to participate as much as we can and as much as it makes sense.